This is Shawn from Tech Train Solutions. We're going to talk about meters today. Meters is our bread and butter as electricians. It helps us troubleshoot and find the problem. It helps us determine what is going on, and it also helps us see the big picture. What's great about meters, because electricity is hidden, can't see it, you don't know what's going on. Meters opens possibilities. So you as an electrician, you must have one, even as an apprentice. This is a commercial electric. It's cheaper, it's not extremely accurate, but it's a good starting point for those who do not have money. I would recommend first year, second year apprentice, buy a meter. You can buy a cheap one for now. It's not bad, you can use it. Same concept, checks volts, amperage. You don't have the thing for amperage, but it checks it. It checks ohms, continuity, and stuff like that. Now, if you have a little more money, you can get a Klein. This is a nice Klein. It's not a bad tool at all. It even gives you an amp probe. This also has your ohms, continuity, that's symbol of a alarm, your AC amperage up to 20 amps, AC amperage up to 200 amps to 400, DC voltage, DC AC, and turning it off. This is a good meter. What's great about this, like I said, you can check the amperage just by doing that. This is an amp probe company. Amp probe makes very reliable equipment. I've used them for voltage and amperage detection in the ground. It does ground detection. It's very reliable. This tool is also very good. I don't know how extremely accurate. I haven't tested it to that extent, but this also has your continuity. It has your AC voltage, DC voltage, ohms, amperage DC, and amperage AC. These are everything that you use in our world. It's a pretty good meter. This is a model 30XR-A from Amperage. Now I'm going to show you something that if you have, throw out. We call this a wiggy. It has a solenoid inside. This literally blew up my face with 120 volts. Luckily I didn't get hurt. It uses a solenoid, so you attach the voltage to it, it runs the solenoid, and again it blew up my face. So I would recommend not having this. They have newer ones that have electronics instead. That's the one I would recommend instead of this one. I would only use that for verifying voltage. That is it. I don't use it for anything else. Now we're going to go to higher end levels. This is Fluke 376FC. Fluke is a very reliable but expensive meter. And let me show you this. This also has, that's the iFlex. This is amperage, DC, AC, continuity, ohms, also detects diodes. And here is your voltage, mini volts, regular volts, and then off. All right. This is a very good tool, very reliable. So if you really want to get in really good troubleshooting and see exactly what's going on, this tool I would recommend for higher levels. If you're doing residential, commercial, I wouldn't go this route. Now we're talking about bread and butter. Now this is expensive. This is a process meter. Basically, what a process meter does, and your expensive meter, is gives you the option to see lower amperage. In process, you have something called 4 to 20 milliamps, 0 to 10 volts. Well, this can read it. So same deal. It's true RLMS. With two things that helped me and saved my butt is regular meters. They don't have a low impedance. Low impedance helps you find true resistance in a circuit that's close to like a electrical drive. Drive supplies like a false signal to the wire. So there's the low LZ volts, low LZ ohms. When I was testing it, it was giving me 1,000,000 ohms when the drive was running, the one next to it, and when it was off, it would go down to 29 ohms. When I got the right meter, no problem. So this is, it's called 289 True RLMS multimeter. Very expensive, but very good if you really get into the nitty gritty and you need to see it real time, this is what you would do, true RLMS. That means it's reading pretty close. Now, for those who haven't done it but should, you should test for voltage prior to touching a circuit. This right here is called a proving meter. This proving meter provides you 240 volts of electricity. It's magnet. You put it up, you grab your meter, put it on, test it. If I got my batteries, 240 volts. Can't see it, but it's on. See the light? That's what I would recommend. As electricians, you're technically by NFP70E supposed to test the circuit when you turned it off. You have to verify, and that's what you can use to verify. These are the meters. Part 2, how do you use the meter? Let's begin. Now I'm going to show you how to use a meter. I'm going to use the Klein that you can get at Home Depot, Lowe's. Not that expensive. It's still a little bit more expensive than your cheap models. I'm going to show you how to use this. Here's the different functions. You have ohms, continuity. Continuity means I can have continuity, basically you're short. There's 220 amps AC amperage, 200 to 400 amps voltage DC, the solid line like that and the dash, that means DC. Voltage, wiggly line, and then off. What I'm going to do and show you is I'm going to turn it to continuity. Okay, touching it. That means I have a short. So I'm going to see if I find a short in this circuit. Let's find out. Ready? I have a short. Now I'm going to make sure that, hey, my circuit's not open. I go to my open. I am good. I have no continuity. Again, this is used for, let's say you were having a continuous tripping problem or a dead short. Well, look for it. I would recommend those. Take all the light bulbs out. Light bulbs will give you a false reading. So take the light bulbs out or turn the switch off and then check your circuit. That is continuity. And then ohms. Ohms basically is giving you an ohmic value. That's your resistance. Make sure your resistance is good, because resistance and voltage will give you amperage. You don't want too high of amperage. So you can check your ohms before starting. Now I'm going to do voltage AC. As you see, I'm locked out. And if you unlock, I'm going to turn the circuit on, looking away. And now I'm going to verify my voltage is on. So I'm going to show you the voltage, why I'm working. Take a look. Okay. I'm going to go check here. $210 volts. All right, this is 3-phase, 210 volts. Let me check the other one, make sure my fuse isn't bad. 210 volts. All 3 phases are good to go. But just in case, let me check the middle, because you never know. 210, correct. I am good to go. I have voltage. DC, same deal. If you make sure you know which one you're dealing with, because if you have DC, you won't read if you have AC running. Same thing with AC. If you have AC, you won't see the DC voltage. So make sure you know what voltage it is. Very important. Now I'm going to talk about amperage. Amperage is the flow of electricity. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to turn it to amps, the low amps. Okay. I'm going to start the motor. I'm going to check the amperage. That's my flow of electricity, 0.85 amps. Check each phase, 0.865 amps. Check the other phase. That is checking amperage. I would recommend that if you keep having something overload or trip, not short I would check continuity. But if you have that, do your amperage and verify. So that's amperage. I showed you continuity, I showed you voltage. Now I showed you amperage. That is how you use the meter. Not hard, pretty easy. This is Shawn from Tech Train Solutions. Wanted to show you how to use a meter.